Kalisa, thank you very much for sharing with us that centering activity and some about your life and those great challenges. That was a great way to start us off this morning. My name is Nathan O'Neill, and I work with innovation in Richland School District 2 in Columbia, South Carolina. And it's my pleasure this morning to welcome you guys to a panel where we're going to hear from some students just about, what brought them to this conference, what they're hoping to get today, and where they're hoping that you guys will go as faculty and staff and teachers and families as a result of this conference today on this Saturday. So first off, let each of the students introduce themselves. We'll just kind of go in alphabetical order. We'll have Gianni share first, then we'll have Rondalyn, then we'll have Will. Just let them tell you about their name, their grade, their school, city, state, any little thing they like to tell us about themselves. And then I'll ask them a couple questions, kind of conversation style, to let you hear from some of our students this morning. So Gianni, tell us about yourself.
Hernandez. I am 17 years old, and I attend Santa Unified School District.
All right, let's let Rondalyn share, and then Will. I think we're having some issues with Gianni's sound, and then we'll see if we can work that out. So Rondalyn, share with us a little about yourself.
Hello, my name is Rondalyn Waters. I'm in the 12th grade. I'm 18 years old. I go to Ridgeview High School in Columbia, South Carolina at Richland School District 2. That's pretty much about me.
All right, Will.
Hello, everyone. My name is Will. My pronouns are he, him, and I am in 12th grade at Lewis and Clark High School in Spokane, Washington, Spokane Public Schools. Yeah, it's awesome to be here.
All right, guys. Well, this morning we're going to have a couple questions. I just really wanted to know, is it really that motivated you to join into the C Summit in the first place? Maybe you have a personal story or interesting little anecdote. What was it that compelled you to want to be a part of participating in this C Summit today and sharing with these faculty and staff about what's important to you guys? And again, any order, whether Will, Rondalyn, or Gianni, if we can get that video and sound working, just feel free to share out your thoughts of why you joined the C Summit.
Yeah, for sure. I'll start this one. I was motivated by an opportunity. I heard about the C Summit through administrators in my district, and I really saw it as an opportunity to share my perspective, which I believe is kind of unique from different people's perspective, and also to help support the uplifting and the voice of other students who are like me within my school and within other schools. I think that there's a lot of tough conversations that are needed to be had when it comes to equity and that drive for change. And today we're going to have some of them. And I think that it's been really impactful for me personally. And one of the things that drove me to participate as a student contributor is the starting of those conversations and the participation in those conversations. And also, I really wanted to see if some of the issues that need to be changed in Spokane, Washington, were some of the same issues that needed to be changed in DeKalb, Georgia, or in Washington, D.C., or in California, or in Michigan, right? And what I found out is, yes, they have been. A lot of our students are facing equity issues with mental health, issues with not being able to find their true voice. And I think that it's been super cool to talk and hear from other people about their perspectives and their ideas.
That's great, Will. Thanks for sharing that. I hear that it's going to be better for Gianni to be able to join us just with audio and no video this morning. So Gianni, what brought you to the C Summit this year?
I was motivated to be part of the C Summit mainly because it was a student-led discussion. I think it's important for teachers and students to have an understanding of different issues that we face as students. The effect of equity of opportunities in schools. The pandemic was an equitable learning situation for me because I did not work well independently. I fell behind and I was not comfortable with 100% virtual learning.
Yeah, that's tough. There's a lot of inequities. That'll be our next question we'll talk about. Rondalyn, what about you? What made you really want to be a part of the C Summit this year?
Something that made me want to be a part of it. I was, I'm so sorry about the background, but I was a part of it last year, and being able to be a part of it again, it was a nice experience. And, COVID really hindered a lot of things, but it was definitely something different than just staying inside our district. We were able to go outside of our district, meet new people, meet new superintendents, and different people that also want to make an impact in their community and their school districts. So it definitely was something that made me want to be a part of.
That's awesome. Thank you guys for sharing. Let me go to my next question. And again, just you guys let us know your thoughts. Each one of you in the time you'd like to share, just come off mute and tell us your thoughts. What have you yourself personally learned about equity and about justice as you've been going through the process of a 2-year plus pandemic? What's been something that struck you about these past couple of years in terms of equity and social justice in the schools?
I think for me, I've really learned that there's a huge individual drive for change. So many young people, especially, have things that they want to say. They have demands for social change. And I think looking at social media and also looking at the amount of people that took to the streets last year, I think that it's super cool how many individuals want to change our communities.
Gianni, Rondalyn, what about you? What's something you've been learning personally about equity and social justice as you've been experiencing the pandemic in education? All right, maybe we're having some more tech issues. There's a lot going on here from home on Saturday, I think.
Okay,
okay, great.
Okay, so basically what I have learned about it, it was just learning about, different opinions and what everybody else thinks about, especially in our school system. And it's not really necessarily our staff and teachers and the people that have to put out their authority. It's kind of about what the authority is designed and modeled as. So definitely learning about that and having an open mind to what other people think and how other people have interpreted. It was definitely, something different, and I was willing to learn and receive it. So that was something for me.
All right, great. Gianni, what about you?
I'm still having some issues.
All right, that's all right. I'll go on to the next question. Maybe you'll be able to answer that one with us. So what is it that you guys today as students really hope to gain from this conference? From sharing out, from learning from other students, from sharing your own ideas in your roundtable discussion? What is it that you personally hope to get from today's proceedings?
I think for me, it's been really cool to just talk with people who are like me. And people who have this similar idea for change and people that recognize that change needs to happen, and going about and doing something about it. I think a lot of times in our communities, there's so many people that are willing to point fingers at problems or blame different people or different organizations for different things. But I think that real change comes from not pointing fingers, but actually taking a step towards that action. And the fact that all of us are here today, we're all taking that first step. And I think that those discussions and that common mind of change by doing, that's something that is definitely going to be impactful for me today.
Awesome. Thanks, Will. Gianni, what about you? It's okay if your camera's not working. What is it that you hope to gain from today's experience?
Uh, I'd like to gain more background into what students think about issues related to equity and justice.
And Rondalyn, what about you? What do you hope to gain today?
I definitely hope to gain that, especially in my district itself. I hope to gain that people, like especially teachers and adults, have an open mind about students and where they come from, and hope that the students can receive the teachers as well, and the adults to see where they come from as well, and especially like with maybe like dress code or disciplinary actions is definitely something to be able to focus on in the future and fix and work on, and different things that's what I really hope for people to gain, just to be able to have an open mind and see where everyone else is coming from.
That's great. Super cool. Yeah, and that's a great transition for sort of the next question, which is really like, there's going to be a lot of educators here today. Some of your teachers, principals, maybe people from your district staff, or maybe some of your families are here. What is it that you want them to walk away with today? What do you want them to learn? Or maybe there is a step that you want them to take, maybe a small thing, a step you want them to take as they get back to their schools on Monday. What is it that you want the adults who are here today to walk away from the C Summit doing?
Well, I think that this conversation these conversations that we're going to have today, they're really going to kind of get something that gets on your mind. A quick thing that you can really think to apply to whatever your setting that you're in, whether you're a student, a teacher, a parent, a principal, an administrator, whatever it is. I think that today, each one of us is going to be provided with something that we can make a direct impact in our community. And I think that taking that step and also starting that conversation, I think that a lot of the conversations that we have today are going to be really invoking a sense of pride within each one of us, and also a sense of change, and kind of having that conversation here, and then also taking these talking points and then having a conversation with your students or your peers or your friends. I think that a really super cool step that's quick and easy is taking this conversation and starting another conversation within your community.
Rondalyn, what about you? What do you hope that people will do after this conference today, the adults that are here this morning?
I definitely hope the adults can be able to go back to their school districts and their schools on Monday and just really understand where these students are coming from, and not just be so quick to have actions, but to be quick to think and understand like what's going on at home. Like maybe instead of writing up people and sending them to ISS, maybe just have a conversation with your student and get to know them and really understand, like maybe this child just lost their father, or maybe this child is just going on with a lot of stuff, and just be able to really dig deep and be like a change in that student's life.
Yeah, it's great. That's a deep thought about just understanding before making decisions, right? Yeah, Gianni, what about you? What do you hope that the adults today will walk away from the conference with?
Well, for teachers, I think they should have equitable expectations of students and try to understand students' needs so they can be more successful, however it might look for them and in their environment. But overall, for all adults, I think they should really, at least at the end of all this discussion, for this whole event, I think they should just sort of think a little bit more in a sense, and understand students more and the reason why they do things. Yeah,
that's great. Yeah, the first step to action, like Will wants them to do, is to start with understanding, right? That's cool. Very nice. All right, guys. So I've just got one last question. It's really just a way for you to sort of send us away from this panel with just a word, a message. If you have anything like a message of hope, maybe it's a desire that you have for your own future. Just think about the future as a bright place, as an equitable place, as a space where social justice is real and alive. What's your parting words for us before we pass it off back to Dwayne?
I would say my hope is for a leveling of respect. And I feel like a lot of times, especially in schools, there can almost be a chain of respect, starting at superintendents and then principals and then administrators and then teachers. And then at the very bottom, there's the students, right? My hope is that that becomes one level playing field, and that students, teachers, principals, superintendents, administrators, we can all be together in discussions about change. And that we can all recognize some of the systematic issues that are happening within our schools, and then take steps to break the barriers. And I think that breaking barriers together is super important.
That's awesome. Thanks for sharing.
All right. Thank you guys so much. Thank you to Kalisa for the inspirational keynote, and to Nate and our student leaders, Gianni, Will, Rondalyn. Thank you for sharing your aspects for today. Before we go over to get ready for our sessions, I have a special appearance with us today. The special appearance is from an Olympic all-around champion, Miss Gabby Douglas.
Hi, student leaders. This is Gabby Douglas, and I hear you are presenting at the SEE Summit today, and you guys are so amazing for using your collective voice to advocate for the change that you want to see in your education systems. I think that's beautiful. Keep up the amazing work. Sending much love.